Bury your power lines or get fined. We brought you the story on Friday, and since then it's been one of the most read stories on the KMOV News app. Tonight, the St. Louis City leader behind the idea is explaining why this has to happen, and he admits his idea needs more public input. News 4's Ashley Lincoln is live in South City, bringing us new information tonight.
Well, Courtney, this is the common sight you're seeing across the city. Lines draping streets and alleyways. Tonight, the city leader says those have to go below ground to make the city more efficient.
The intent wasn't to somehow punish residents.
Alderman Tom Oldenberg says Bill 227 is about making St. Louis more tech savvy and not taking advantage of homeowners.
It was frustrating that so much fear and anxiety was produced as a result of this ordinance.
Oldenberg is speaking out after News 4 told you Alderman Brandon Bosley voiced concerns.
They have to bury their power lines or be subject to a misdemeanor.
Fearing residents will be responsible for paying to have their utility lines buried.
I think it would be foolish for any city to try to financially burden residents.
Oldenberg says this move falls under the Smart Cities Initiative. That's a 30-year plan to modernize St. Louis. His idea would expand existing Bill 227 to update the city's electrical grid.
Alleys, sidewalks, wires that go over streets are your public areas or rights of way.
Right now, most lines have been buried in the downtown area.
We know that if we bury things underground, they last longer, they're not susceptible to weather.
Once initiated, the bill will focus on new construction, then moving to older properties. As the plan spreads into residential areas, the city will assess how and who will fund burying those lines.
So what's the plan for those areas?
Yeah, I think the goal is to ultimately begin to address what is existing over residents. If it is a financial burden on folks, the policy will dictate that we don't do it or we don't initiate it.
Oldenberg wants to make sure that residents are informed about this bill. That's why he says over the next 2 months, they plan on having public meetings to get more input from the public about this topic. And then he says they'll make tweaks to this bill before bringing it back before the board for a vote. Reporting live in South City, Ashley Lincoln, News 4.